Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about prayer closets. I'm going to talk you through why I think they're so important and actually take you on a little tour of my own prayer closet. I'm a huge advocate for prayer closets, prayer rooms, prayer spaces. So I'm really excited about this video. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so the first time I even heard about a prayer room was in the movie War Room. So if you haven't seen War Room, you should see it. In the movie, there's an elderly lady that has a prayer closet, and she inclines her ear to the Lord and seeks Him in that space, and a lot of powerful things happen. So that was when I first heard about like the concept of a prayer closet and was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So my junior year in college was the first year that I actually implemented having a prayer closet, and it literally changed my prayer life in a very serious, like concrete way. So I was able to write my prayers down on the wall and like constantly, like the Bible says, like continuously pray on those things. And when they got answered or when little things would happen about them, write them on the wall and continue to pray about it. So I just was like always reminded of what the Lord was doing and always reminded of what I needed to be seeking Him for. It was just really helpful to be able to like set my mind on those things and remember that I was entering this space to spend time with God, because something that I struggle a lot with, especially when I'm trying to pray, are distractions. Like things continue to come in my head, notifications on my phone will go off, my dog will start running around, like I'll start looking out the window and like thinking about something else from the day. So having a place set aside to seek the Lord and spend time with Him really just kind of changes your perspective when it comes to prayer and puts you kind of like in the zone of being with the Father. So that's the main thing. It's like, and there's even times when I'm praying and I feel like I'm just going through the motions. Oh, I'm doing this because I know I have to or because I'm supposed to. But sometimes just like going in my prayer closet and just like being, even if I don't know what to say or I don't know what to pray for, just kind of like being and knowing that I'm intentionally setting aside time in my day and like pushing aside everything else to be with God. It does like make a huge difference. So even besides War Room in that movie, like it's biblical to kind of step back from the world and go alone with God. Jesus did this a lot in the Bible, and Jesus is one with God. So if literally the Son of God had to step away and spend alone time with God, that tells us something. Like if Jesus did it, and he is one with God, obviously I need to be doing it, right? So if we go in the Bible really quick and you go to Matthew 14 verse 23, I'm actually going to start in 22. So setting the context, this is after Jesus had fed the 5,000 with the loaves and the fish and stuff. So in Matthew 14 verse 22, it says, immediately He made the disciples get into the boat and go before Him to the other side while He dismissed the crowds. And after He had dismissed the crowd, He went up to the mountain by Himself to pray. After He did this amazing miracle, He was like, okay, disciples, you go over there, let me dismiss this crowd, and I'm going to be alone with my Father and like literally go to the mountains by myself to pray. So that's one example of Jesus Himself going kind of like into isolation to spend time, isolation from people to spend time with God. And another example I love of this is right before Jesus was crucified, He went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray alone and be with the Father and seek His will before going through crucifixion. So if you look at Matthew 26 verse 36, it says, then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and He said to His disciples, sit here while I go over there and pray. So right before He was getting crucified and about to face something so horrible, He went to seek God's will by Himself in the Garden of Gethsemane. If you look at the same story but just in another gospel told by Luke, and you go to Luke 23 verse 39, it says, and He came out and went, as was His custom, to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples followed Him. And when He came to this place, He said to them, pray that you may not enter into temptation. So if you go back a little bit, it says, as was His custom, to the Mount of Olives. So it says, as was His custom, which I think is really important to acknowledge, because it was His custom, it was His practice, it was kind of like His ritual. And if Jesus, being the Son of God, had a practice of going away from people, being alone with the Father, then we should do the same thing. It should be our custom to, like, as was Nicole's custom, to go into her prayer closet and seek the Lord's face, as was your custom to go to your prayer room and spend time with the Lord. Like that should be a practice in our life. because life is full of a lot of noise and distractions. So we need quiet time to sit and be still and hear from God and hear his will, because a lot of time we try to tell ourselves what we should do or kind of compromise when things get hard, but we need to seek his face and be able to hear his will, and that only comes through kind of pushing away all the other distractions and focusing on him. So that just shows you, like, biblically Jesus had the practice where he would go alone into the mountains, go alone to the Garden of Gethsemane, and be with the Lord. So that's kind of where this all for me originates from, wanting to be, like the Lord, and knowing that I sometimes don't want to pray. I sometimes feel like I'm far from the Lord. I sometimes feel like I'm going through the motions. So if I'm not intentional about it, now if I'm not vulnerable with God, like in my prayer closet, just like, God, I don't feel you, like I don't hear you, but I know you're real, so like speak to me. Like if I don't have that place where I can just be vulnerable and just kind of let go of everything else, I am hindering my relationship with my Father. So my prayer closet gives me the space to do that. And like I said, when I had one my junior year of college, it like changed my whole prayer life. So since then, whenever I'm looking for apartments, I look for walk-in closets, because I know that having a prayer closet is that important to me. When I buy a house one day, I want a prayer room. Like I literally want a room, like it can be something that was designed to be a computer room or a guest room, but I want a smaller size room that will be my prayer room. Like that I can go to when I want to pray, or when I just want to meditate, or when I just want to get away from people and read a book, when I just want to sit there and listen to worship music and be with the Lord. Like I want a prayer room that is designated for that purpose. But for now, closets will do. So I'm going to show you my prayer closet. So let's go. So this is the side of my closet that's designated to be like my prayer closet area. So I'm just going to take you through step by step how I created this space for me. So down here is like where obviously I pray and lay down and stuff and kneel down. So underneath this blanket is mattress foam that I got from like Walmart, I think, for just a few dollars. Then I bought this blanket from Target. It's really fluffy and it feels really good. So that's what I put over it, which I was really happy that I thought about the idea of having mattress foam, because as you can see in here is towel, so it's really hard. So the mattress foam and the blanket makes it really comfortable. Then on the wall, you'll see all these posters or little things that have Bible verses or just inspirational quotes on them. So where this came from is one of my friends' she actually printed a lot of these at her school's library off of like Pinterest. So yeah, she printed them off Pinterest and laminated them. So they're actually laminated. I had these since I was a junior in college. So I just put a few of them up in here. So you say this one says like pray, love, forgive. This one says, can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? This one says, life is a beautiful struggle. Give grace lavishly. Dear God, if today I lose my hope, please remind me that your plans are better than my dreams. And then this one's like, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost, which is Luke 19:10. So it's just different verses and things, as you can see. So because my friend's friend gave them to me, I didn't have to pay for this or print them out. So I mean, you can put posters, you can put pictures. Something I definitely need to add is something I talked about earlier. So I need to add, probably down here, I will add a piece of paper that writes down my prayers with check boxes and places to write notes when God does do things, or when I need to be reminded to pray about something specific, because God has definitely answered prayers within the last few months and challenged me on things that I need to be reminded of. So I need to add that. And then as we move up here, you have some twinkle lights and then just really pretty pendant lights that I love. And I got them from like Ross or Marshalls or something like that. And I just have them going along the top here, so that when I'm down here, I have light. So I will turn the lights off so you can see how they look. Okay, so here we are in the dark. So I turned the light in my closet off, and this is how everything looks. So yeah, when I'm in here and I have like my Bible and my notebook with me down there, I definitely have enough light. Oh, and usually I have my laptop in here because I like listening to music when I pray and stuff. So between my laptop and these lights, I have enough light to see as I write and read. So yeah, this is my prayer closet. So yeah guys, that's my prayer closet. I know people do them different ways. Some people have like desks in theirs and they have chairs. They have like different places to write things. Like you can do whatever you have the space and the means for, and whatever you know is gonna like focus your mind on praying and spending time with God. I actually love being able to kneel and kind of lay down in there, which can also have its bad sides because if you're tired, you can want to fall asleep. So you know what's best for you. You can make it unique. Like I said, when I get a house one day, I'm gonna have a prayer room. So I'm probably gonna have a place where you can lay in, a place where you can write, and a place for me to free dance, and whatever it might be. So I hope this video encourages you to develop your own prayer space and to really intentionally seek spending time with the Lord daily, and just kind of seeking out His will for your life. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell, subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. And most importantly, do not forget that your life is totally worth living. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!